Hello everyone, it's Bobo the Vulture, and it is time for more Let's Play Gran Turismo 2. It's been a while since I played, which you guys may actually even be able to determine, because if you have been watching these as they come out, there's actually been a gap. I've used that gap to put in a brief play session I did of F1 Race Stars, which is a game I picked up. I played a little bit with Bean and Mysterious JG. Now, as I recall, we have an MGF here, and we had just used that to win. Did we already use it to try and take on the British car tournament? Let's see about that. Nightfire Red. We went into the Gran Turismo League, went into the UK Nationals. Is that as fast as we can make it? Can we make it? Well, there's one good way to find out, which is to go to North City, which I believe is where the English are. They all hang out at North City, don't they? Yeah. If I go here and the regular MGF challenge has already been won, that's a pretty good sign I probably did all of the engine upgrades I can. But let's check and make sure. Can we turbocharge it? And if so, did we? You can't turbocharge it. You can NA tune it. I really think we did, because I don't think these things have 244 horsepower stock. Yeah, okay. So we did. So what we need to do next is go to the Gran Turismo League, see if we can use this car to win the middle round of the UK Nationals. It's going to be a little underpowered for what the rest of these guys have, but maybe we can make it anyway. Let's try. Also, I can't remember whether or when I say I can't remember, what I actually mean is I don't know if, yeah. The controls are set back to digital, folks, not analog, which I'm going to have to fix in between videos, I think, because I don't want to disturb the aspect ratio of this. If I bring up the menu for analog controls, it will it'll get all confused. Get back here, you little TVR. You dumb son of a bitch. Man, I'm trying to make the most delicate of movements, but of course you can't really do that here. Not that I was ever really good at doing that with, not that I was ever really good at doing that with the analog control stick anyway. But it's literally not allowed for with the digital controller on this. And folks, as far as I can remember, Gran Turismo 2, it might have been a thing for Gran Turismo 1, but I remember Gran Turismo 2, like, the analog controller is one of the big things they were trying to sell with this game. Like, not as a pack-in thing, but just like, oh, DualShock controller. That would have been the DualShock 1. So I guess it was just called the DualShock. But like when I recently picked up a new copy of this game, or an unopened copy, whatever, for purposes of this LP. No, it wasn't for this LP. It was because I had the disc for this already. I got a new copy of Gran Turismo 1 because I don't think I had the disc for that handy. But they're like, "Hey man, you should really have a DualShock for this." I don't know whether or not there was a rule or if it was just something that all the game makers generally thought they should abide by. But as far as I know, there were no games for the PS1 that required analog controls. Shit. That little blighter's gonna get away with me. You scheming little buggers. Caw! See, because the UK Cup. You guys get it? Huh? Alright, so that wasn't the way to do it. The Motorsport Elise might be the way to do it. Probably is the way to do it. I don't think it counts as a racing car, oddly enough. So what I'm going to do now then is, well, I'll go get one. Go get a Motorsport Elise. And, no, I tell you what. First, I'm going to go ahead and go to North City, going to race modify this MGF, so that we can sort of put paid to the MGF chapter of our lives, and then we can go over to Lotus, because there is an Elise trophy, if I remember right, and the Motorsport Elise is probably the best Elise for that. So let's go ahead and get racing modification for this MG, because we need it. That shows a little dark. It shows a little dark on my screen. I believe that's actually supposed to be a classic BRG British racing green, as opposed to black, which is kind of what it looks like. Let's go ahead and go to the MGF challenge and do it racing style. How do you do it? I do it racing style. Is that your style? Anyhow, Grand Valley East, okay. So, we're going to try this. Ooh, pardon me. My head and body just exploded there. I feel like I had another point there, but I couldn't remember it. I got interrupted in my point making with sneeze. This is going to be the shorter Grand Valley, so we're just going to hop right back up here. No, that didn't exactly go as planned, did it? It's okay, though. It's a shorter lap. There we go. Lovely. Fabulous. Orbit, come! Yeah, everything British, folks. That's what I'm getting at here. Yeah, it wasn't the best handling of that term, but it was good enough. There you go, a little dab on the brakes. That'll do ya. Should be getting back into it. Yeah, it's been a long time since I played this game, as I was mentioning before. The month of March was a pretty busy one here in the Bobo the Vulture household. The month of April, it seems like, is going to be a busy month too, but less so immediately for Bobo the Vulture and more for other residents of the home. But that's another story for another time. Finish! There you go. Let's do one better than that second place from the last race. Let's exit. Let's just go, man. Let's just go. Next. Next. Let's save. Slot 1. It's okay to override. Oh, I think I did notice in some of those, I think Zerfall might have pointed it out to me, but, and probably some of you sharp-eyed, and even not that sharp-eyed viewers, probably did notice in some of those F1 Race Stars videos, I had the return of the recorder creepy crawlies that I've been having with Gran Turismo 2 here. Or I had with Gran Turismo 2, and I thought I had them all solved and everything. I recorded those F1 Race Stars videos a while back. I'm hoping it was while I was still trying to figure out what to do about that. That said, I'm still going to be very sure to check this video after I finish recording it, before I record any more, because I'm not 100% positive that is the case, and if that is, you know, still a problem, I'm gonna have to figure out what on earth to do. Let's look at the lineup. You got a bunch of Elises. Elise 135, Elise 190, Elise 111S. What are all these Elises? Motorsport Elise. I think that is, and then there's a special. Okay, I think that one actually is a special racing model, but the Motorsport Elise, I don't necessarily know is. As weird as that is. Info. There have been 3 competition versions of the Elise, all been modified for... all have modifications for lighter weight, increased safety, full roller cages are specified, and even better handling than the stock Elise. First was GT1, carbon fiber body, covered with a version of Elise backward. Chassis modified to take a twin-turbo Lotus Esprit V8 engine. And Street Tune had the same 350 horsepower, and Race Tune over 550 was available in a car weighing under 2,000 pounds. That is pretty good. The Sport Elise 190 offered from 1997 was intended for circuit use only, with increased power. Motorsport Elise of 1999 takes the concept of the Sport Elise 190 a step further. Designed for a one-make racing series run by the factory at various European venues, it features redesigned bodywork, aerodynamic hardtop, competition suspension, and a race-spec 200 horsepower version of the Elise 4-cylinder. Unlike the Sport 190, it is meant for competition use only, with no street version available. You know, they keep saying that, but then I see it at these events. I'm gonna get in the car. I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna get into it. If it turns out that it's for racing use only, I'm gonna go back and load. I'm not even gonna feel bad about it. No, I won't. And it turns out I can. Honestly, I should have tuned it. Or at least gotten racy tires on it. Racy tires! Do I have any parts? Nope. Oh, it's the Rome short course. Maybe I can make it anyways. I'm gonna make it after all. See, there's already another Motorsport Elise in this one. They pretend that this is a street one. That didn't go as well as it could have, but I guess that's what you get when you try and go inside of the person who's on the inside line. And you find that there's a wall there. There really was no other way that could go. I can thread my way through these guys, though. That was the other Motorsport Elise. I thought you would have been up to the front by now. Running away with this. Yep, broke too late there. Thing sounds like one of my roommate's coffee grinders. It's all crunchy and kicking a can of nails around. Maybe it's just my speakers. Well, somebody else decided to go for a suicide bomb. And it wasn't me, the computer decided to. But yeah, Lotus Elise is basically... well, Lotus in general makes... I guess it's... they've had a reputation for making lightweight, fast... cars that weren't necessarily super powerful, but they had lightweight, and that was their big appeal. There's the start-finish line. I didn't make it. Why is that in Japanese? It's supposed to be the Rome circuit. Right, I forget. This is a Japanese game. Oh, my Japanese game. La, 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 la. Ooh, my Japanese game. I bet I can do some tuning to this. I bet I can. I bet it'll be okay. I bet I can make it back. I don't ever bet, folks, actually. I hate losing money. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, they say, I guess. But, I still never liked doing it. Wonder if I can turbocharge this thing. Turbo Elise? You better believe it, Jimmy Jimmy. 273 horsepower. Okay. Is it possible to NA tune? It is, for a much lower horsepower rating. It'd be a more tractable engine that way, I guess, but still. Turbocharger probably the way to go here. There's no increase in displacement. No, because it's a tiny engine and has to go into a small space. One of the things that Lotus used to make was the Lotus 7. The designs and specs and patents and such for tooling and everything all got sold off to a company called Caterham, which you may have heard of if you have been... Let's see, what is the... I think $299 is still under the limit here. Yeah, I think it is. I suppose it would have been good to have gone and checked to be sure, but I didn't. I don't think you get an intercooler. No. Pretty sure you can only ever get intercoolers for cars that were turbocharged to begin with. Otherwise, they would have to figure out some sort of mechanism by which to prevent you from getting an intercooler without having a turbocharger. Like if you NA-tuned your car and then went and got an intercooler and that was supposed to give you more horsepower. It wouldn't be... Well, I mean, it wouldn't make any sense, is basically the thing. Intercooler is a part that goes with the turbocharger, is what I'm trying to say, folks. And it's just not coming out right. The words all come out wrong. Alright, so... done a couple of races here. Probably this video has gone on long enough. But now that I've done these things, I want to at least win the non-racing spec Lotus Cup. With my newly found tarted up Elise. Yes. Yes. No. Hey, it's at the Rome Short Course again. Well, I should at least know the layout. Huh? 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 Okay, that's a little bit more eager, isn't it? And every extra horsepower, when it is such a light car, isn't a big appreciable difference. Alright, but if you remember having heard the name Caterham recently, it is because they have that F1 team that shows up in F1 race stars, because all the F1 teams do. I'm not necessarily saying all engines need to be turbocharged. As a matter of fact, a lot of engines are ruined when they get, or, well, in terms of the way that they sound, get ruined by having extra whatnots put into them. But, gotta say, this thing sounds much cooler now. Oh, this is excellent. Wow, the brakes work better than I was expecting too. Again, because the car's so light. And the tires are sticky now too. So there's also that. But the Caterham 7 is still, it's based off of like a sort of 60s era design. It's very old-fashioned and some would say frankly weird looking design. I think it's kind of cool. But, you know. To everyone their own. The big concern I would have with it is that I'm not actually sure I would fit in one. Both in terms of height and in terms of width. Lotus Elises are small enough cars on their own. Lotus 7s, forget about it. Anyways, I'm going to exit because we achieved our goals there. Our goal being Victory. And you know, with that, I'm going to save the game. Why not? I'll save the game. I feel like saving the game. Yeah, I can save. And with that, folks, I'm going to go ahead and call this one a video. When we come back next time, probably more adventures with the Elise, the Motorsport Elise that we just got, and see whether or not we can race modify it, or if we can't, if we can put that other Elise in. I felt like there was something tricky with the way this game designated one Elise versus another. Like, maybe it was that the Elise GT1 it didn't consider a real Elise, possibly because it had the engine of an Esprit in it. I don't know. But we might find out in a future video. So look forward possibly to that at some point. Yes, this is Bo of Ultra. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye now.